doing? And welcome to What the Fuck Am I Reading? Yes, we are doing this. So let me explain. I realized that it's been a mess recording wrap-ups, not gonna lie, because I really need to cut down my thoughts on every single book. Because if I talk about a book for 5 minutes, the wrap-up will have to be at least 1 hour and a half long. And we're not going to do that. I refuse. Like, no. No. So, I've decided to bring back kind of weekly reading updates. The thing is, I need your help because I don't know what is better. For me to just sit like this here for, I don't know, 15 minutes to talk about all the books that I have read this week and the ones that I'm going to read next week, or do just like a regular reading blog, like a weekly reading blog. So I don't know which one is better, actually, so help me out. I will leave a pin down below a poll that I'm going to make on Twitter. If you just want to comment and say, I prefer this, it's also fine. But I'm just going to link that. You can vote if you don't feel like commenting. It's fine. So help me. Because I really don't know what to do. Now that that's out of the way, let me tell you what books I finished this week. I believe that this week I finished The Gilded Ones. And let me tell you something. I kind of messed up because this was this month's pick for my book club. But I thought it was The Boneshard Daughter. The Boneshard Daughter is actually the book for April. This was March book. I fucked up a little bit. I decided to grab this because I've heard incredible things about it. It's by a black author and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to read it. And it's also military fantasy, which I didn't realize at first. I knew that it was about a girl that discovers that she has like golden blood and she's taken to just be kind of a soldier for the emperor, but I didn't know that it was so heavy on the military aspect. Really love it, really love it. That aspect, I thought it was great in the book. I ended up giving it 3.75 4 stars. I don't know exactly. I rated it up to 4 stars on Goodreads, but the thing is, I found some flaws that really annoyed me. But on the other hand, some things were a little bit meh. I don't know, let me explain. So basically, the things that I loved the most were animal companion. There's an animal companion that appears after, I don't know, maybe half the book, a little bit less, and it's amazing. X, I believe it was the name, was such a great addition to the story. Good for you, for the author, because what a great choice. The other thing that I really liked were the monsters, the death strikes. I thought the concept was compelling enough, you know, they have to kill them silently, or they will just meet this kind of strike and they will alert other death strikes around. That was great. The thing is, the kind of blood thing is because these girls have to go basically her entire life without getting caught, or they will be revealed as having golden blood. And that's a bit of a stretch. There's also a reference about periods that I'm happy that was addressed because, you know, pretty obvious. But yeah, till 16 without having a fucking cut, that's hard. That's hard. There's mentions of this being just like, you just have to be super careful. You cannot wrong. You can. I get that, but you know, accidents happen. So I don't know about that. The other thing, I've read enough military fantasies to know that the army is always the bad. Like, they're always the bad guy. Que también sufres. So, you know, some things are just pretty obvious from the start. And it's just like, So you're just with that little voice all the time while reading the book. I like the ending. I'll just say that I thought it was, you know, a little bit obvious, but still well done. So it's fine. The book is also more brutal and dark than I was expecting from a YA novel. I don't know why, but it starts out pretty fucking heavy. They murdered the main character 7 times. in one chapter. So it's whoa. The start is rough and brutal, and I love that. I found the first half of the book really compelling. While she's discovering her powers and training in this academy, in this military academy. That part, I thought it was the best. The second part, I wasn't a huge fan of. Once they are, kind of invading just in the army on itself, I felt almost nothing with that part. Things start getting really obvious there. So maybe it's because of that. But, I've read a lot of military fantasy, military sci-fi, so that might be just my thing. And that's why I got it. But maybe it's just that. Overall, I think it's worth the read. I think it has enough different elements to be compelling. The ending was good enough. I will probably pick the sequel up. Probably. But the main love interest was so fucking boring. And so bland. Like, why? But yeah, I'll probably read the sequel. I liked it. So, something like 4 stars. Then I also read, the Gilded Ones. I finished on Sunday, I believe. Not on Monday, but who cares? Then I read The One by John Marsh. I just watched the first episode of the TV show and was like, I need this book before I can continue with the show. So I basically just got the audiobook and I was like, I'm fucking reading this. So I ate this book in 2 days. I really enjoyed it actually. But I have to say that I think I'm going to like the TV show more. As of today, I've watched more than half and it's more compelling to me. Because The One is basically a compendium of stories, that's how it feels like, that all revolve around this matching thing. Basically, they have found a way to just match your DNA with like your perfect other one. So there's one person out there in the world that is basically made for you. So you're just like perfect for each other. There's kind of this instant attraction. The concept is super cool. I love how they explore this is a private company, so you can just send your DNA, and once they have your match, they will notify you, and you can decide if you want to continue with the process or not. So there's a cool thing about divorce here, because apparently it's spiking a lot. And basically because people are just taking the test and leaving their current partners. And that's something that would have 100% happened. And I was just like, this is such a great representation of this. So in that regard, I really liked it. But it just felt like a collection of short stories. So it left me a little bit meh. I liked it. Some of the stories ended up really good, some really bad. Some were just okay. But the concept on itself, I liked more than the execution. It's such a soap opera. If you just like drama, you're going to love this book. And the TV show is less focused on that drama and it's more about how the company was founded. And it mostly follows, I think it's 3 main characters. We have the founder of the company. We have a police officer and... do we have anyone else? But yeah, fewer characters and some of the... and Hannah. Hannah who just... And Hannah. I'm just going to say that, Hannah. And that's the main characters that we follow here. The thing is, some of their storylines are just like a mix of the storylines of the book, just thrown in there all together, which is nice, but there's also kind of a mystery in the show that I find more compelling than the book. So I will finish the TV show this week and I'll tell you my thoughts about it. But for now, I'm really liking it. It's really worth the watch, just like a good enough show to spend your Sunday afternoon, basically. So the last book that I finished this week was Blood of Vampire by Brian McLeod. Book 3 in the Gods of Gun and Powder. Of Gun and Powder? Of Blood and Powder trilogy, which is the sequel trilogy to the Powder Mage trilogy. I've said trilogy so many times, but I'm so sad. I finished this yesterday and I'm just so sad that it's over. I cannot imagine a world without this already. Like, why? I just want to go back to read new stories set on here. But I'm going to miss this so much. I don't talk that often about the Powder Mage trilogy, but I love it. I love the world of the Powder Mage. It compels me a lot, and I have never read something like that. This sparkled my love for gunpowder fantasy. So I love this. And seeing it end was so hard. I didn't cry, which, okay. I think this has a more sweet ending than the Powder Mage trilogy. Like, everything is kind of fine here. And the first one is just like more sad. But still, I really liked it. I didn't feel like the ending was rushed, but it didn't feel like that elaborate as in the first installments. I don't know. I still really like the characters in here. I'm not usually a huge character-driven person, but the characters here are a lot. And they are so good. I really love Mikkel here. He did such a great job. Like, that character is amazing. Throughout the whole trilogy, throughout the whole 3 books, best character. Even though there's few characters that come back from the first trilogy that I love. And I also love that Flora had her time to shine, basically, because she starts out like a really minor character in the first Powder Mage trilogy book, in Promise of Blood. But this is her trilogy, and Carpool's trilogy. And I love that, because the first one was Thomas and Taniel's trilogy. And it's really satisfying to see Brian McClellan get some awesome female characters, because Promise of Blood is a great book, but it really lacks great female characters. And it's something that gets better and better with each book. Don't get me wrong. I think he's done a great job of implementing that, of upgrading that. So that's great on his part. This trilogy is Laura's trilogy, and I loved her character here. I wasn't on board with her on the first trilogy, but in here, you go, girl. Like, she's fucking great. I don't want to talk much about that because I'm sad. I'm just so sad about it. Like, damn. The other book that I'm reading right now is Deadhouse Gates by Stephen Erickson. This is the Spanish edition, and I'm having such huge trouble with this. The thing is, I bought the Malazan books when I was really young. This is the first edition, published in the 2000s. Translation of SFF books wasn't in a great place at that time here. And you can tell some sentences feel disjointed. I don't know if it's maybe because I'm just so used to reading English now that Spanish is just turning into a hard language for me, which doesn't make fucking sense, because the passage I read in Spanish and I didn't have any kind of problem. But I just cannot with this copy, and it's making me falling into a slump, because reading a chapter is just like such a hard job. So I just got the Kindle edition in English and also the audiobook, so I'm just going to listen and read along. Because reading 3 chapters has taken me the whole week, and I haven't read in 3 days. Because I just cannot with this. I just fucking cannot. So we're going to move on that. I really want to finish that book, because I really want to finish Lord of the Secrets also. So this has been a mess. The other book that I'm also reading is From Hell by Alan Moore, which is a graphic novel supposedly about Jack the Ripper. This is so boring. I'm so sorry. I have read the first 2 issues. First 2 chapters, because this is a bind-up, but nothing has happened. And as Deadhouse Gates is putting me into a fucking slump, because this one is actually boring. This one, I just have trouble with translation. This one is being boring, at least for now. Please let me know if I should just, if I just push through it and it's going to be good, because this has an awesome rating, and I really like the art style, but I don't know, there's nothing that I've enjoyed, at least now, in the main story. It feels like it's not connected with what I want to read. So I'm just really sad right now, really confused, because it's really not what I was expecting. So I'm not enjoying it right now. it's again hard work to just get me to read another one of these, because I'm reading 1 chapter a day and it only has 14 and I haven't finished this, and I started it the first week of the month. Yeah, so the book I started last was Revelation Space by Alistair Reynolds, and this has been a joy. This is the joy. This finally. I just recorded a video talking about this book because I'm really liking it. So thank you so much to everyone again. I'm so thankful to have you because I miss so many good books. But yeah, this has been amazing. I just love how it gets just like straight to the point at the beginning. You're just like, yeah, there has been another alien races and other discoveries, and this is so hard because we have been waiting for 30 years to be actually able to understand the language. I'm loving that. I'm not really too far into it. Not even 200 pages yet. But I'm loving it. It's going to be really hard for me to just end up hating this book. Let's hope not. But yeah, so far I'm really liking this. I'm just like, this is literally what I'm going to do right now. Once I finish this, I'm just going to continue reading this. Because I thought that I was going to, well, I might do it actually. I want to read something really short right now because I've been reading really long tomes. And because I'm feeling like I'm getting into a slump, I think I'm going to read one John Wyndham story, like these little short novels. I think I'm going to go with The Kraken Wakes. I just looking up them. I'm just so I think that I'm going with that. Oh, my hair is just all over the place. I think that I'm just going to read one of those probably, because I also want to continue playing Little Nightmares too, which was what I did yesterday. So I was able to finish Blood of Empire by listening to it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But I will tell you more either on a reading blog or on another thing like this. So again, please let me know what I should do. So as always, please don't forget to tell me what I should do. But now for real, as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.